Hey guys, go to hardafseltzer.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. These Sunday night shows are always my favorite. We got Dicky Barrett with us today, former lead singer of the Mighty Bosstones.
Once the lead singer of the Mighty Bosstones, always the lead singer. It's like
there it is.
There's no such thing as ex-Marine.
Sure isn't.
But for life, well, the only former Bosstone is a dead Bosstone.
Yeah, goddamn right.
I'm making this shit up.
No, I know you are, and I think today's going to be a good show. That's the impression that I get. Nailed it.
Out of the gate.
Had to. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's for you guys at home. That's not even for me. That joke wasn't even for me. That was for you. And that's what I gave you to begin this show. You've had a wild fucking life, man.
I've had quite a life.
All the shit you've done, it's almost unbelievable when you stack it up, because not only were you the lead singer of the Mighty Bosstones, or still the lead singer, the only lead singer.
Done that, right?
But then Jimmy Kimmel. How many years were you?
20 years, dude.
Jesus Christ, man.
20 years. I was the announcer on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't, let me just refresh your memory. From Hollywood, it's Jimmy. I'm that guy.
Go ahead and you can do it.
There's another guy did. It's Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight.
There you go. Look, you got to do the whole thing, you know? You don't cut off Michael Buffer.
Tonight, Adam Carolla.
Let's get ready to rumble. You don't cut it off there. You got to finish
rumble.
It. There you go. Yeah, you got to finish it. And then, look, you were rumored to take over for Howard Stern at one point. Was that true?
I was in the Boston area, they were farming out. He was leaving terrestrial radio, and they were farming out. And I was doing a radio show in L.A. at the time on a station called Indie 103, and I was doing a morning show. Not that I should have been doing it or knew what I was doing or any good at it, but I was doing a morning show in L.A. because I had free mornings. And at night, I was announcing on Jimmy Kimmel Live, so I had the time, and they let me do it. And then Howard was leaving WBCN in Boston and all the other markets he was leaving and going to Sirius Satellite Radio. Mm-hmm. And so they said, BCN made me an offer and said, would you like to, do, and I was like, hell no, I'm not going to follow Howard Stern in Boston. Like, there would be a whole morning of me like, where's Howard? You suck. Answering those phone calls. Plus, doing morning radio in Boston is, getting up in the morning and scraping your window and trying to get your car started and driving, digging yourself out. And
it's a cold existence. Look, that situation happened to us over here.
Where did you grow up?
So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia originally.
Okay.
And I've been everywhere.
All right.
Like, I'm a fucking Johnny Cash song at this point. I've been, went to Ohio State's undergrad, NYU for grad, lived in LA, did movies for 15 years. Comedy died. In 2015, nothing was funny anymore after that.
Right.
So they stopped making comedy movies, pivoted into podcasts and then writing books, wrote a couple bestsellers and all that stuff.
So you've done a lot of shit.
Sure have.
Yeah.
Sure have. But the audience knows me. They don't know you.
When did you move to Texas?
Moved to Texas about 3 years ago. So they ended up moving. They wanted the top 10 biggest shows to move here. Because we all split advertisers, guests, all that other stuff. And then when people come into town, like yourself, They can come and hit a few different shows, and then it makes it worth it for celebrities and everything else. So I couldn't do that in Boston.
Right.
However, let's be honest, it's Joe Rogan, right? So Joe Rogan was the guy that was the catalyst for all of this, for all of us to come here, essentially. And if he did, we were going to. And so, therefore, you know, if McConaughey goes on Rogan for green lights, then he's coming here, and you kind of have a nice little circuit, as well as comedy. We knew he was going to open up a comedy club here, and it was going to be massive. And then all the guests that were coming in here.
Why am I not on Joe Rogan?
You should be. Have you reached out?
No, I'm not going to bother that dude.
You should. Who
I
gives a
barely
shit?
wanted to bother you.
I can be bothered and I don't care. I don't know Joe Sitch in real life, what he does or how he gets down. I'm friends with his producer. I'm friends with Jamie. But I don't know how he gets down in real life. We have a ton of mutual friends and all that stuff, but who knows?
He's a Boston guy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's from Newton, Massachusetts, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Newton's a strange little town.
Yeah, all of it is up there, isn't it?
It is pretty fucked up.
I mean, every time I've gone there, I enjoy it. I love Boston, and
So
it's
you like
fun.
to fight?
Sure do.
Okay.
So I was a bouncer
well, that's
in college.
the place to go.
Yeah, I was a bouncer in college, and I enjoyed it. That was probably my favorite job
Is that
I've ever
New
had
York
in my entire
or
life.
Ohio?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
New York was a different story because Daddy was keeping the face pretty there, so I had to give that up. And
Ohio, that's in Columbus, Ohio.
It
right?
is, yeah. Going back next week. We host a sports show, so I'll be at the Ohio State-Penn State game next week.
We had some Boston's had great shows in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Probably when you were in college.
Yeah.
Where were you the bouncer?
A place called Ludlow's downtown. Before that, it was another bar called Keegan's. They were right next door to each other.
What was the venue there? Newport?
So Newport was on campus, and then if you were like a mid-sized band, Ludlow's held about 1,200, 1,400.
Yeah.
All filled out. And some of the stories there with musicians that were rolling in were just wild. Because we just set up the green room before, too, and then protect those guys and everything else. So some of my funnest one was Warren Zevon. You remember him?
Oh, I love that guy.
Same here.
Yeah.
And like that was one where we were allowed to take one break and have a beer or kind of hang out. Like our manager was dope as shit.
Yeah.
And with that, I said, look, when Werewolves of London comes on, I want to take a break and have a beer during that song and just enjoy it. And
they would let you do that?
Yeah. So it was dope.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Yeah.
That fucking song is great.
It's great.
I was fighting in Honduras. I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Ha! The shit has hit the fan.
Did you guys ever cover it?
Well, now I think I should.
Yeah.
I didn't know I knew it so well.
You just belted that out. I mean, I could shit. I was
Zevon is. There's a great book about Warren Zevon. There's a great story. He's a really great and interesting guy.
He is.
True artist.
I got to hang out with him a little bit afterwards, and he was a
good
blast.
Guy?
Great guy.
Yeah?
Great guy. And, it was before his illness and all that stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, he crushed.
Yeah.
And the older people, because I was in college, obviously, had really come out, and you could tell they were probably doing anal for the first time after that show. Like, that's how good the show was, where it was just like, fuck it. I know we've been married for 10 years.
Now, how old are you at this time?
In college?
Yeah.
So I was, when Zevon played, I think I was 21 years old. And he absolutely crushed it. Goodwill, here was one who didn't, though. It's a fun story. You remember Goodwill Hunting, the movie?
Yes.
Obviously a huge
very
movie.
Boston.
Yeah, very Boston. And then the guy, Elliott Smith, did all the music for it.
Oh, yeah.
So
no longer with us.
Right, for a good reason, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So, homeboy walks in and needles everywhere. I mean, shooting up in the dressing room, everything else.
Yeah.
And needles all over the floor.
Dark
and all
little
that other
cat
shit.
too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets on stage at a college campus right after Goodwill Hunting comes out, and he gets on stage and he goes, "Hey, if you're here to listen to Goodwill Hunting tonight, I'm not playing any fucking songs from the soundtrack, so go fuck yourself." And then proceeded to play whatever else he was. And the crowd just kind of looked at each other and was just like, God damn, dude, play the hits.
You know that, talk about your college. You know the college, the community college in that?
Yeah.
The one that
Columbus State.
No.
Oh, in the movie of Goodwill Hunting, yes.
Bunker Hill Community College.
Yeah.
My alma mater.
No way.
Yes, and simultaneously, my cousin went to Harvard at the same time. my cousin Patrick. And my cousin Patrick went with Ben and Matt to Harvard. And my cousin Patrick graduated #1.
Did he
that
really?
year, yeah.
So did he solve the math problem on the board or no?
Probably. He was most qualified. He went on to like westernize China was one of the things he went on to do, and stuff that like.
How'd that work out?
I'm not so sure. He's back. He was in, where the fuck are you, Patrick? I'm in Peking.
I couldn't westernize China. I couldn't fucking westernize China.
I asked him one time, I go, what do you do when you westernize China? He goes, you say you should put a Starbucks over there.
Yeah.
That's honestly what he told me.
How about a Jersey Mike's? You guys consider a Jersey Mike's over there? We'll put some spicy mustard on that sandwich.
We were thinking about a Subway. No, Jersey Mike's. You're making the wrong move.
Jersey Mike's. And that didn't work out for him. But with you personally, you stopped being in the band, you stopped being on Kimmel, and I heard a rumor it was over not getting vaccinated. Now, obviously, you got the RFK Jr. hat on here for 2024. Is that
Yes.
part of it?
Early on, I didn't want to get a vaccine. I didn't want to get the COVID shot. And it's not, I wasn't afraid of it. And I wasn't, what's it going to do me? I'm one of those assholes. I had done my own research. Mm-hmm. I'd figured out through having children, I didn't like the whole vaccine theme, the whole scene.
Same, by the way. And same with my wife. She's a hippie, and she was just like, hey, dude, we're not doing this bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was with me. And I had, late in life, I had children. And I had, my children were 6th grade now and 2nd grade. So at that point, I was like, okay, what do we do? And my first daughter was born. And they said, well, you got to get, these shots. And they're like, okay, how many shots? And they're like, well, 65 shots by the time she's 18. Like, fucking, I haven't had that much Jameson.
Yeah, exactly. A fucking Kentucky
50.
Derby horse doesn't have that many shots.
I'm 50. So I said, wait, and I called my mother. I go, how many shots did I get? How many vaccines did I get? And she's like, oh, well, I can't remember, Richard, but I think 4. And I'm like, 4, okay. And I was born in 1964. And I was like, So then I just started looking into it. And then through people and friends and people that I was listening to, like Bobby Kennedy, it was like, maybe it's not a great idea. And maybe the verdict's not in. And maybe some of them good or some of them aren't. But my own journey was I'm just not having it. And I told my band that early on and said, I'm not behind it. And I know there's going to come a time where they're going to ask us, in order to go to Europe or in order to play this venue or do these shows, everybody's going to need to be vaccinated. I'm not going to be vaccinated. Yeah. And I'm not going to pretend that I was either.
But did the firing happen because of that, or did you just voluntarily leave? Because some people are saying
if you're
fired.
Talking about Kimmel.
Yes.
Okay. Kimmel is Disney owned.
Correct.
Okay, and that whole network is Disney owned.
ABC. Yeah.
And Disney had a strict policy that everybody that works for that company had to have get a shot. And in fairness to Jimmy, he's tried to hide it and tried to say, oh shit, and wasn't into the fact that I wasn't going to get a COVID shot. But he didn't, he was like, there's nothing I can really do. This company has said this, and, we have to part ways.
Yeah. And then with your band, were they the same way?
The band was more, they were okay with it, with me not getting a shot, but they didn't really like my association with Bobby Kennedy.
Strange. Because he's polling so well now at this point. When you're polling at 26%.
This is before that. This is in when he's first starting out, and they're hitting him hard with, he's not a conspiracy theorist, and he's making insane comments like, comparing the vaccine mandates to Nazi Germany, and so it's like
we got hit with the same thing with Kennedy. So he was supposed to be on the show in 2021, I believe. Yeah. And YouTube said if you put him on the show, we'll delete your channel. Yeah. And that'll be it. So
what did you do?
We couldn't have him on the show because at that point,
Pussy.
Hang on. Hang on. No. Hang on.
Kidding.
So in 2020, though, because we'll have anybody on the show. I don't give a shit who it is, right?
Right.
As long as
I
it's
believe
an
that. I'm
conversation,
here.
100%. But with that, we had Alex Jones on election night in 2020.
You did.
Height of COVID.
Right.
And live on YouTube. And then that's kind of what started it. And then they started to crush the channel. And then afterwards, they were like, look, you have Bobby Kennedy on after this? Like, no, we're going to yank it all together. So we had to make that collective decision. Now, what we did do, I will say this, on our side, and the audience knows this, is we set up a Patreon page. So if anybody was remotely in that wheelhouse that YouTube was like, no, you can't have them on again, then that video show would at least live on Patreon. iTunes and Spotify have been cool. Like, they don't really give a shit because the show's so big of like, hey, whoever you guys have on, that's fine. The audio-wise, video-wise is where they really nuke out the channel there.
Right.
Because YouTube's controlled by, Google and all that other stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. And we talked to him, I think his team about 6 or 7 days ago about coming back on the show to promote his independent candidacy and all that stuff. So they're a little more open to it now and flexible now, but it's only because the poll numbers are what they are.
Right.
If they weren't, though, you're right. He would still be considered in that category of he's a fucking nutcase.
I talk to people that are like, he stands a good chance. Like I like the guy. He called me when I was down and out and, said, hey, I heard about what happened to you. And, which was super nice of him. Mm-hmm. And I'm just an asshole from Boston.
But were you guys friends before? Or was he a fan?
I had met him a couple of times, and he's just kind of aware of, the fact that I was being let go. And he's aware of those things and just reached out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. Not very often, especially Hollywood-wise, right? Everybody just ditches you. Once you're gone, you're gone, and it's amazing how quickly people forget.
I'm okay with it because I was never really there to begin with. I mean, it didn't take me long. I enjoyed my job there for the 20 years I was there, and I liked being around it and everything. But no one was going, hey, I really got to meet that announcer from the Jimmy Kimmel show. So I wasn't immersed or even interested in that. I had my band and I had, punk rock and other shit that I was like doing and more interested in than, glad handing and, hey, how you doing? Oh, great.
Sure.
Love your new project, man.
And with Kimmel, because I know the grind of those shows like that, would you just show up for the taping at 5:30? Did you have to be there earlier? Or?
I hung out there.
Okay.
I mean, you'd come in and I like being, immersed in the very fabric of it all and part of Jimmy's close friends and still am, and to some extent.
Yeah, because with us, we've always got interesting guests on, and we always leave the doors open here because we got some listeners back here today. Yeah. Anybody who wants to come in the show can just walk off the street and come and booze for free.
Is that true?
Yeah, they're back there right now. If you can wave to them.
That's
yeah, they're in. Those guys are in from North Carolina. They said, and so they built this place, so we leave it open, and hey, you can come and hang out and see
so that
whoever it
explains
is.
When I came through the door and I said, hey, we're here, and they looked at me like, we don't give a shit.
No.
Well, that explains why.
Well, they don't know who the guest is.
No, of course not.
So we don't tell them.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, you come in and whoever's here is here.
But as a guest, I would come in and see 4 guys sitting there and think, oh, they must be part of the crew.
Really?
Yeah.
But you would see Jennifer Aniston and all these guys, though. Did you get an advanced schedule of who was going to be on?
Who's going to be on the show? I didn't really care. None of it really interested me all that much. There's certain guests, maybe. I liked when, weirdly enough, one of my favorite guests was Magic Johnson. I liked when he came. He was always, and I'm like lifelong Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Boston, so all things Celtics. And Larry, Magic was always super cool to me. He would tape his segment and then walk over and like point at me and go, how's my favorite Celtics fan? And I just loved it, I was like, and in my head I'm going, I spent my whole life hating you.
Yeah.
And you're such a nice guy to me.
He's a
fist
friendly
bump
dude.
And he was on his way. Yeah.
You met Bird? You ever met Larry Bird?
No.
Okay.
Never met. I don't think I'd be able to speak.
No shit. He's the guy for you, huh?
He's definitely the guy.
Yeah.
Definitely the guy. I've met Tom Brady, and he's, iconic Boston sports legend now at this point. But Larry Bird is the guy. Maybe Kyle Yastrzemski.
Yeah.
I've met Bobby Orr, but those are the big ones.
I don't think you're going to get to meet Carl Yastrzemski. That's
Really? Dude, I didn't come here to have my dreams crushed. Yeah, no Yaz.
What are you going to think?
Shit.
I'm going to pop up a hologram of Yaz behind you.
Really?
And let you talk to him.
What happened? No one told Dicky.
I was promised Yaz. I'm not getting fucking Yaz.
My publicist said you go on Drinkin' Bros and you're going to meet Yaz. The great Kyle Yastrzemski. Kyle Yastrzemski.
Yeah, our hologram machine is down back there, so
You have
forgive
one?
me. Yeah, we had Tupac on the other day. It was a great show. Very good show.
Pac?
Yeah. It was a lot of blood, surprisingly, leaking from him, but it was a good show. We all enjoyed it. I'm kidding. Man, before you came in, I was watching some of that Jada Pinkett Smith shit, and I was like, holy shit, man.
Tell me what that is.
Man, she's got a book coming out.
Okay.
And she's really going. It seems like the divorce is imminent. She's looking to cash in one more time off the book before she gets divorced. But she was talking about Tupac on the show and that they were soulmates. And then he called her from prison and proposed to her.
They went to college together. They went to
high school together. But she also says they never had sex. But it's like, dude, why would you tell us that you've been married for 17 years and you're going to say that some other dude was your soulmate? I mean, the whole thing is fucking nuts to me. And
Tupac was her soulmate, but they never had sex.
Yeah, never had sex, according to her. And so she's doing the rounds right now, and I'm watching it right before you came in, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there is nothing off the table here, and she's completely throwing him under the bus every 10 seconds.
Tupac or
Will Smith. The Tupac she loves. I mean, that, you don't go. It's hard to go from Tupac to Will Smith.
Will Smith smacked a guy.
Yeah, sure did.
For her.
Yeah.
On stage.
Sure did.
So she's throwing him under the bus?
I think she realized that meal ticket's over, and now she's got to create her own shit here going forward. Again, that's a guess on my part.
Get my wife out your mouth?
Yeah, get my wife out your mouth. You married?
Yes.
What's your wife's name? What, dude? I'll scream it out right now. I will scream out your wife's name, yeah.
My wife's name's Jessica.
Jessica!
She's not here.
Baby, you look beautiful, okay? Now you're supposed to say keep it out your mouth, and I'll keep...
Get my wife out your mouth.
No, I won't, Jessica. I'm going to be here all night, Jessica, okay? Sorry about that, Dickie. I had to do it. I had to do it. You got a new band right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got there.
What's the name of the band and when's the album coming out? Your publicist said it was coming out this year. Did they lie?
No, my publicist is absolutely correct. As a matter of fact, it's coming out October 27th.
There you go.
And the name of the band is The Defiant, and the name of the record is If We're Really Being Honest.
And you've got guys from Smash Mouth, Offspring. I mean, you picked up a bunch. It seems like a little super group here.
Yeah, punk rock super group.
Yeah.
From the 90s.
From the 90s. And then the lead singer of Smash Mouth just died.
Yes.
So he's not going to be in the band.
No, he won't be in the band. He passed away, which sort of devastated our guitar player. They were close, but Greg hadn't been playing in Smash Mouth for years. But Greg was responsible for the biggest songs of Smash Mouth. He's an insane songwriter. He's probably one of the greatest songwriters of my generation, which I would say would be the 90s. And while I was writing songs, he was writing songs, but he was writing huge hits.
Yeah.
And, All Star or... there's a couple other ones, but
there's Smash Mouth has so many hits. I feel like it would take up the next 2 hours of our show if we what
to list them all.
To list them all, play them all.
Good point. We don't have that.
We don't have that kind of time over here.
We could do more Zevon.
Huge Smash Mouth guy. But here's what I've found, and you can tell me if this is true or not. There seems to be this nostalgia right now for everything 90s and early 2000s right now, and the music is picked back up, and the bands have picked back up. Creed right now, we've been joking about on the show, but they've caught on with the Texas Rangers.
Right.
And so they're going through this whole run where they're playing, they were playing them in the clubhouse for the second half. They made the playoffs. They just got through the last round, and on television 2 nights ago, they played Creed in the stadium for every commercial break, and then on television as well.
Right.
And I feel like there's this new interest in like Creed and older bands and Smash Mouth and all this other stuff.
Creed is definitely the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's from that era.
So, dude, I listened to...
So maybe my timing's right?
I think it is now, because, I mean, dude, I listened to Higher today 3 different times. I had to go to 3 different locations, unironically, and I fucking rocked my face off in the car.
You were feeling it?
But, I mean, like, in it.
More than Werewolves of London?
Werewolves of London is a different vibe for me. Higher today, like, because I was on the way to, like, a doctor's visit, right?
Yeah.
So I get these TRT injections.
Right. Tell me what those are.
Low T. You get low testosterone as you get. I'm a young man. I'm 33.
You're a young guy.
And I know I shouldn't, like, some say too young. But...
33.
Some say Epstein level. But with that, no, I'm kidding. I'm not 33 years old. But
Okay, tell me how old you are.
I'm 46.
Stop fucking around.
I'm 46.
You yelled my wife's name. You just have my wife's name in your mouth.
I'm not going to get it out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm not going to get it out of my mouth the whole day. But with that, your numbers get low, and then you have to get these, TRT injections.
Okay.
It kind of keeps everything level and right,
sense.
and it's good, right?
Right.
So on the way out, though, you feel a little pumped up, as the needle's coming out, and you're like, man, you know what I could go for right now on the drive to the studio?
Some Creed?
A little fucking Creed, hombre. A little, can you take me higher to the place where blind men see? These blind men were fucking
Send lawyers, guns, and money. I'm a desperate man.
Don't you ever fucking reverse Uno me into a Zevon.
I'm sorry.
Out of a Zevon. When I was in Creed, you Zevon'd me, dude.
Sorry.
Don't you fucking Zevon me in the middle of a Creed sit.
It's a hybrid. We mashed them. What do they call that?
Mashup.
It was a mashup. We mashed them up.
We mashed them up for the kids, dude. But with you guys, like, we were playing all your music before you got in today, kind of getting hyped up for everything that was going to go on today. And it was like, oh, goddamn, man.
Were you enjoying it?
Yes.
Thank you.
But that's the thing is, like, what did you say, Delco? Like, this is impossible to get out of your minds? Like, I mean, it really is. It was so catchy.
Get that catchy ska song out your mind.
Out your mind, dude. But it was, and I think it's because, and this is what I want to ask you, we don't have any fucking groups today. We don't have any cool music. We don't have any hits. And nobody listens to the radio anymore.
The Defiant, my friend. You do now.
But you guys don't drop for another 2 weeks.
There's a couple songs.
You got 2 songs out?
Yes.
What do you got?
2 songs out. One's called Dead Language. We released that first.
Okay.
And then the second one was Where Were You? Can we play them?
Why not? They're giving us permission?
Will you?
Is Bob back there?
I got it.
Yeah, let's crank it up, dude. Fuck
Defiant, play out Where Were You?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll play it live on air. I don't give a shit, dude. This is like old school Stern. This is who Stern used to be.
I would do it a cappella, like I've been doing Zevon, but
A coup?
I don't want to.
Do you want a coup? Do you need an coup guitar?
You're listening to The Defiant.
There it is.
Here on Drinking Bros. Enjoy. Shit, I didn't hit the post.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You missed it. You missed it.
I never said I was good. And it's my song on Drinking Bros.
You can ask me how I am. I know that you don't give a damn. I'll tell you I am better.
Voice is still there.
Haven't lost a step, my friend.
No, you haven't.
Before now, ask me how I seem so sure. I'm sure that would end the discussion.
Did you guys shoot a music video?
Nah, you don't really shoot them anymore.
Yeah.
Scrap together some shit you have on your phone. Here's some cool footage you can public domain.
Together.
Yeah, that's great.
Some photographs.
Yeah. Dropping on a table.
Yep, dropping on the table over and over and over again. Play the next one, Bob. What do we got up next? We'll play both the hits today, dude.
What's the other one?
What's the name?
Dead Language.
Okay.
Dead Language. There we go.
90s.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's back. The nostalgia's there.
But with a modern feel.
Yeah.
With a twist.
Obviously.
Thank you.
Why go outside and leave this space? I've got the AC blasting my face.
You know what's weird is I hear this in a Disney movie right now.
Out of place.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ear.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a COVID shot to have your
sure
song
do.
in a movie?
Sure do.
You do.
Disney owns all of it, bro.
All of it?
All of it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. This could be in the new Snow White when the dwarves walk
Could
down the
be.
hill that are actually adult
All I have to do
Yep.
is
Gotta
Damn
get
it.
vaxxed up, brother. That's all you gotta do is get that fucking shot, dude.
and we're on the soundtrack.
And then you're on the Snow White soundtrack with the humans, adult-sized dwarves just going down the hill.
Are there adult-sized dwarves? In
Yeah,
that?
they canceled the
Yeah.
dwarves. Peter Dinklage got him canceled.
Did Wee Man have anything to do with that too? I think Wee Man was
He had
pissed
the
as well,
rebuttal,
right?
yeah. He had the rebuttal of it. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
I do too, Bob. Thank you.
I had the Wee Man had the rebuttal, so he said, "Do you know how many little people or midgets that you cost jobs by saying this, Peter Dinklage?" And he had no response.
I know.
to that.
I know how many.
How many?
7.
Nailed it. Nailed it. They did use one though. They did use one.
Really?
Yeah. They used one, and then the rest are like,
Like a
6
lager-
adult males.
And then one short guy?
Yeah, dude. With Bob, can you pull up that picture?
I would love to see
It's
it, Bob.
one midget, right, and then like 6 giants.
I know we're not using the right words.
For what?
I think it's little people.
Oh, we had one on the show. They didn't care.
They didn't give a
we had
shit,
a bunch.
yeah.
Yeah, she was like, dude, I don't
I know,
fucking
but
care.
I don't care if they don't care.
Right.
I am woke, and I decide what they want to be called. We all signed off on little people, and until someone steps, so it's the one in front, right?
Yeah, it's the one in front. It's the littlest one there, and the rest of them are just adult dudes. Oh, and there's a chick too.
That's not.
Yeah.
This is not, I'm not.
What?
I can't.
Now play that song over this picture, Bob, and tell me that this wouldn't be in the movie, dude. Is
And then
that
kind of
possible?
shake the picture around like they're walking
Yeah,
down the
just-
hill. Please, for us. I want you to shake the picture, though.
You just kind of move it around, Bob.
Even if
Shake
you
the
have to come
picture
up. There you go. We're having fun. Da-da-da-da. Hi-ho,
Having
hi-ho.
fun.
Hi-ho, hi.
Having fun.
It's off to work we go.
Having fun. You see what I'm saying?
He's figured out how to shake it.
Yeah, dude. Look at Bob. This is Bob's day today.
Don't drink wine, so
Look at the little dwarves dancing right there to your song. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice fucking
It's
moment?
adorable.
Look at us.
The diversity
Yeah.
is crazy, right?
Isn't it? It looks like a junior
Bless them.
college brochure.
God bless them.
Yeah, it looks like, what junior college did you go to? Bunker Hill?
I went to a community college, Bunker Hill Community College.
Yeah, that's what the brochure looks like. It's got to be everybody of different races having a good time, laughing and smiling
Bunker
in Boston.
Hill is in Charlestown,
Yeah.
Massachusetts. That's a tough town.
No, I know.
You aware?
I'm aware it is. There's
Code
not
of
a lot
Silence?
not
Have you
a-
heard of the Code of Silence?
Not a lot of diversity there, friend.
Who's the famous Charlestown football player? Howie Long,
Howie Long.
Charlestown, Massachusetts.
really?
Yes.
Bear of a man.
Code of Silence, my friend.
Damn, bear
I
of a
can't
man.
even speak about. I'm not even supposed to even say Charlestown.
Why not?
Code of Silence.
Okay. It's like Fight Club.
You know the town, the movie The Town.
Yeah.
Charlestown, my friend.
Yeah, there you
We've
go.
said enough.
We
have
sure
said
have.
it. Code of Silence.
Affleck's accent in that too much or too little?
The dude, the lead in that, who's from California. What's his name?
Was it Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner was insane. His accent was better than mine.
Oh, was it really? Okay.
Yes, and he's from California.
Yeah, he is. He
Was
is.
Affleck's? That's the thing is like guys like Bill Simmons, friend of mine, Bill Simmons. He goes on and on about Boston accents in movies, Boston, and then like we all had different accents. It sounded like growing up in Boston sounded like Top Cat.
Okay.
One guy would talk like this.
Yeah.
Another guy was like, "Hey, Dicky." Everyone had a different accent. No one was. You would go Fall River to Boston or Somerville had a different accent than Jamaica Plain, which was you could hit a golf ball from one town to the next. But everybody had, no one's. There wasn't one. You can't just park your car.
Sure.
Everybody was. It sounded like cartoon characters, all of us.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. But I enjoy that, though, being from Georgia, because I always want the old South accent to come out.
Yeah, give me that. What's that?
Oh, it's
long drawn.
Yeah, Cleavon, Baybridge, Buford, Repube. That's what I want. Like that's what I wanted everyone to.
What we got here?
Yeah. What we got here is a failure to communicate. Like that's what I want everybody to talk like in Georgia, and they didn't.
When they shut comedy down and sent you out of town, they made a big mistake.
They sure goddamn did, dude.
They did.
They sure fucking did. You don't send daddy out like that.
When you can do that,
yeah.
Do it again. What we got here?
What we got here is a failure to communicate. Also, we have a number 4 Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket here. That's going to be in the first space. I need you to pull around, sir. The gravy's not ready. That's what I wanted everybody to be like there, and they weren't. Instead, it's a lot like Chrisley, where it's like, oh, I'm not gay. I'm just from Atlanta. And you're like, fuck, dude. I don't want that stereotype, you know?
When I first started touring, and I would go, anywhere, I'd go down the South, and I'd go say, I'm going to go in and buy a sandwich somewhere. It's like, okay, I'm going to need a large roast beef, and I want to, first of all, sir, slow down. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, I'm going to need a large roast beef, and I'd like mayonnaise, tomatoes, lettuce. Sir, slow down. I'm like, fuck, I just want a fucking sandwich. All right, I'll have a large You're not from around here, are you? I don't want to discuss where the fuck I'm from.
Nope.
I want to talk about the sandwich.
No.
Slow down. You're in the South now, sir.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Lots of that.
Everything's real fucking slow down there.
I learned eventually.
What?
I got a hold of it.
Did Forrest Gump teach you?
Well,
that's how slow the South is. You know that, right?
Eventually I needed to eat. It was like, fuck, if I'm going to get that sandwich, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to go slow. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
I'd like a roast beef sandwich.
Sure will. And then you have to put a soft helmet on and also some form of limp or a back. You got to hunch your back up, too. We got two of these hill jacks in the back are from Alabama. They'll tell you what it is, you know?
Bama?
Oh, yeah. One guy earlier was talking about potentially being raped or molested by his own janitor, which I thought was fun. If you're getting blown by your own janitor,
yeah,
because then you can spit it on the floor and just kind of wipe it up as he walks off, and that's a nice walk-off move for him. And if you look at him, let's face it, a free beach is a free beach. If I were you, I wouldn't have been that picky, okay, friend? He looks like he could take a beach anywhere he can get it, you know?
I can't see him back there, but I'll check him out before I leave the building.
You'll see. It's very Alabama.
I'm going to give him a full checkout.
Yeah. All you have to do is just inhale. And then if you smell Winston cigarettes,
when I'm heading
Winston 120s, dude, it's that guy.
Winston's. When I'm leaving, I'm going to go, okay, which one of you Bama guys can take a beach?
Yeah, and then he'll raise his hand.
I want to find out.
He'll say, that's me, sir. I'm the one that can take a beach. If you wouldn't mind, slow it down when you say you're going to suck my dick, though, because I need it slowed down for me. So you're going to have to slow that whole speech down.
One time I was in Birmingham, Alabama, and we were in a bar. And there were two guys behind the bar. We're, drinking Budweiser and everything. And they talked similar. I don't want to insult anybody, but similar to the way you're talking. And then at some point I needed a pack of cigarettes. And behind him was a whole wall of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I put the money down and said, can you get me a pack of Marlboros? And the dude turned, and he's looking at the wall, and he's looking at the wall. And then he turned back. And then he just stopped. And then I go, yeah, can I get that pack of Marlboros? And then he turned around again. And then someone said, hey, can I get a beer? And he went and got the beer, and then he looked at me again, and I go, can you get me a pack of Marlboros? And then all of a sudden the other guy goes, he can't read.
Oh, okay.
The fucking ones with the red fucking... you can't read, but you should learn to identify the cigarettes. Like, those over there, okay.
Yeah.
Marlboros, he can't read. So I wasn't going to get the cigarettes because he couldn't read.
Man, when I get in sitches like that, I get, this is going to get dark, but I'll fake a retard accent because I don't know if they're retarded, and I'll be like, I need the Marlboro. Like I will stretch it the fuck out until and then I realize when I leave, I do the same thing too when I'm at an Asian restaurant. I always bow like when they take my order and then on the way out.
Yeah.
Like I'm part of their culture. I'm not even fucking part of their goddamn culture. And like I'm asking for white people shit and forks instead of chopsticks. Like I do that a lot too.
Right. Well, you're 46. We're older dudes, We come from a different time.
I feel younger though mentally, spiritually than you.
Dude, you're getting shots.
Come on, bro.
All right. You got shots today.
I
didn't get any shots today. Okay.
Or ever.
Spiritually and mentally, maybe.
Or ever, yeah.
But you're the guy that's,
getting shot up here.
Yeah.
I get it. By the way, the Alabama guy for the beach, will you grab me another seltzer and bring it on set? We'll get him on camera here too, and you guys can decide at home if he needs this beach. Grab me a seltzer out of the fridge and bring it up here, one of those hard AFs.
As southern as you can.
Sir, I'm going to need you to get up off the couch and get the goddamn, grab the seltzer and bring it on up. There he is. There he is. Yeah, that beard ain't fooling anybody.
I want to go over our checklist and see who we haven't insulted yet.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to get into Anne Frank?
Got it. We've got...
you want to get into Anne Frank or
slow people?
Israel, midgets?
God, no.
Not yet.
Slow.
Yeah.
We did do that.
We did do midgets today. Is there anybody else you want to offend today? Coming up, by the way, who is your favorite guys, and then who are the guys you hated?
This is Bama right here.
This is Bama right here. Look at this guy.
He's an okay looking dude.
Look at come up on camera.
Take your hat off.
Come around this side. There you go.
Take your hat off.
Take your hat off on camera here.
Come on, I'll take my hat off.
Look at that. Oh, so he's got a kiss tattoo right behind his ear.
Actually,
right?
Yeah.
He's got a little lipstick tattoo right behind his ear. Take your hat off for Dicky. He wants to see.
I just needs to see the general shape of your head.
Look at the shape of his head.
Right.
That's beautiful. That's cleanly shaved.
It is,
Yeah. You going bald and then you just shave the rest of it?
Shave the rest
You
of
have
it.
to.
Fuck it, yeah.
Smart man, dude. I tell people that all the time. They never fucking listen. If you end up with a bozo ring and you're walking around like Friar Tuck, like we can't do that shit, dude. You did the right move.
No, that looks perfect.
Bless you, by the way. Tell everybody your name real quick.
Look at this.
Green.
What's that?
Dylan Green.
Dylan Green, dude.
That's a good
Are you
name.
single, Dylan Green?
I'm not actually.
You're not single. Oh shit! I was just gonna tell everybody to go and DM you.
Yeah, not single. Yeah.
Okay, but it's dudes, right?
Yeah, only guys.
Okay, cool. So if you are out there and you saw Dylan Green and you're like, oh, hey, shit, I wonder if I have a shot, blast him with a dick pic on Instagram and then see what he said. What, dude? Dylan, we don't know. We don't know. Just blast out a polite dick pic. Nothing crazy. Don't dunk it in some macaroni and cheese or what other Southern thing you can think of. Like, he doesn't need it to be classed up for the South.
No.
Okay?
No.
Don't put a little KKK outfit on your penis and then send it in to him.
Don't sugarcoat
Doesn't
it.
need
Don't candy coat it. None of
Nothing.
that bullshit.
Let's just see a clean
Straight
hog.
up. That's the way, yeah.
A clean, ungreased hog.
Old school. That's God intended in all its glory.
All of its glory. All right, I'm going to go down a hit list with you. Tell me if you know him. Tell me if you love him, okay?
All right.
All right. Limp Bizkit.
I think
Fred
that guy,
Durst.
Fred Durst, is a good guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you raged with him in real life?
I don't love the music,
Okay.
but I like Fred Durst as a person.
Blink 182.
I like those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
You raged with those guys?
I don't think we raged. We toured Australia with them when they were really just starting out. We did shows with them down in San Diego. And I know Tom and Mark better than I know but I know Travis too. Travis used to be in a ska band, much like he started out in the Aquabats.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And that's the guys that wear like the blue superhero costumes, and they got a whole thing going on.
Yeah. I think the Blue Man Group like took over, and they were like, we gotta ditch
It was
this.
a different thing.
It was.
But,
Totally
yeah,
different all the
like
way
a different
around.
Thing. But,
No, yet another band, by the way, sold out everywhere they go. Shit, tickets here when they came to Austin were about $400 or $500.
Who? Blink?
Blink, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's your time now. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
You're good.
90s, yes.
Yeah, you're
good.
in it.
Let's keep going.
Creed.
Creed,
Brought up
yes.
Creed.
I like Creed.
Scott Stapp?
Mostly just because of the Drinkin Bros podcast.
Okay, good.
That's where
It
I
was
got
my voice?
love. Yes.
Was it my voice that brought you in?
It was me and you singing it together. Me just pretending I knew the lyrics and you belting it out.
But that's kind of Creed, though, right? None of us know the lyrics. And that leads me to the next band, Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. I wasn't as big a fan as most people were of Pearl Jam. I wasn't grunge and the Seattle thing. I was such a Boston guy, and I was always when like Nirvana blew up, and when Pearl Jam or all of those the Soundgarden and all those Seattle bands blew up. I was like, I know the bands in Boston are much better. I know the Boston scene's better, and Seattle was getting all this attention, and
And you're like, yo, it's me and the Dropkick Murphys. Fuck everybody, dude.
Not
Ship it up to Boston. Whoa! Ship it up.
No, yes, no, yes. I'm talking about bands, lesser known bands that never got their chance, but yes and no.
Did they ever find their wooden leg?
Define my wooden
Leg!
Ah.
I went and saw them, me and my wife.
Diddly 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 dee.
Me and my wife went and saw them. They were down at Stubbs here in Austin.
How long ago?
Maybe 6-8 months ago.
Yeah, and they were there.
Yeah, I went down there. Who's there? Donut Operator. A bunch of our friends were with us. And it's funny when you have a song that massive like that.
Oh, it's so huge.
Well, the whole crowd's waiting for it, right?
Right.
So it's just like, all right.
Yeah, The
when are they going
Departed.
to play the goddamn song from The Departed? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
won't go
did.
see them until my friend Al Barr, who's one of the lead singers of the Dropkick Murphys, is back with the Dropkick Murphys. He's currently not touring with them because his mother is not well. So they've been touring without him.
Oh, shit.
So you got shortchanged, really.
Okay.
You saw Dropkick Murphys minus Al Barr.
You know what's weird? I felt shortchanged when I was at the show. And I didn't know why until right now. So I appreciate it.
You're not alone.
I appreciate it. I patted my pockets when I got out of there. I was like, what the fuck? I feel like
Where's
I
my
had
change?
more when I walked in, and now I don't.
Go back to your list.
Nirvana.
Seattle again. File that.
So
File
you're
that.
just you're checking off the city as a whole.
I didn't, we were the happy part of the 90s.
Okay.
Nirvana was the kind of, we were the reaction to Nirvana. When things get too down, then all of a sudden, Nirvana. Green Day.
Yeah.
Hey, shit's Blink.
Yeah, Green
the
Day.
Bosstones.
What about Green Day?
No doubt. I like Green Day. I like those guys.
All right. They party in real life? Billy Joe's all right?
He's a real nice guy to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Because if you would have said he slapped me backstage like Will Smith, then I
took
would have...
Green Day one time to a Kiss concert. I knew the guy Doc McGee. Doc McGee's like the famous manager of Kiss, and he managed Motley Crue. And he's the guy that took all those heavy metal bands to Russia. And he's about this fucking tall.
You're not going to believe this. This
Yeah.
is the second Doc McGee story we've been told. My wife she's back there.
Right.
That's the second Doc McGee story somebody's told me this week. Everybody loved that fucking guy.
Dude, he's unbelievable. We were friends. He tried to manage the Bosstones, and I mistakenly didn't go with it, but we became friends, and he would go, hey, Dicky, do you want to come out to Oakland and see Kiss? And he brought me to Madison Square Garden one time when we saw a Kiss show. And when you go with Doc has a tall director's chair that sits behind the board front of house, and he sits there. But before that, he'll walk you backstage, and all of a sudden you're standing behind the four members of Kiss.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, at the girls are putting on the makeup. And they put on their own makeup. There's 4 mirrors, and they're putting on the makeup. It's like, Gene will turn around, hello, Dicky, how are you doing? And
Yeah.
so I brought Green Day to the Oakland Kiss show, one of their many final Kiss tours, and because Doc had me there. And Sammy Hagar was there, and he had just started the Cabo Wabo stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he starts getting Green Day really drunk on Cabo Wabo. And some other guys were there, like Snake from another heavy metal guy. And I knew Gene because I had done some stuff. We were on a compilation called Kiss My Ass. And I actually, to promote that record, me and Gene flew around the East Coast and went to radio stations together in like 1994, 95, something. And I knew that what he would say. And I said, now Green Day's drunk and Kiss are on the huge shoes. And they're like, Green Day comes up to their hips and they're taking pictures and everything. I go, hey, Gene, is Billy Joe in a punk band? And he's like, got his bass. And he goes, no, Dicky, Billy Joe is in a pop band. And Billy Joe like, fuck that. We're in a punk band. Fuck.
Yeah.
He was so pissed that he's like, no, Billy, you're in a pop band. You play popular music. You're in a pop. Fuck this. And he's all jacked up on the Cabo Wabo. He's like, fuck that. We're in a fucking punk band. It was so terrific.
Gene Simmons said that?
Gene Simmons said that to Billy Joe.
He's
like,
such a fucking asshole
I
in real
knew
life.
I knew he would not let Billy be in a punk band, and I knew Billy wouldn't stand for not being in a punk band and being told he was in a pop band. But Tell me your Doc McGee story, and I'll tell you another good.
So we were at actually the product's here. A buddy of mine owns this company called High Seltzer. Not a sponsor, just a friend. It's THC, no alcohol or anything, right? It's like club soda and THC, right?
Yeah,
it's great. So, anyways, he was in Hootie and the Blowfish. This buddy was in Hootie and the Blowfish. So they were talking about Doc McGee. He goes, "Oh, this guy Doc McGee, whatever."
Yeah,
he's telling me these stories about Kiss.
Right.
Same thing, and I was like, I go, what's the Kiss story? Because he knew that I'd worked with him in a movie with Gene Simmons, and I go, what's your story? Gene Simmons was a fucking cocksucker, and he goes, oh, so Doc McGee was just so honest with him at all times. I guess as they were coming through the '80s, midway part of the '80s, he goes, hey guys, you're gonna need to put on makeup. Like you're gonna have to wear the fucking makeup full time. And they were like, why? Why do we have to? You know, Gene Simmons, why do we have to wear the makeup? And he goes, because you guys are ugly. And he goes, if you wear the makeup, it will make you look the same age forever and allow you to play for the next 30, 40 years if you want to. And no one will ever know because of the makeup. And so I guess they had huddled up and, they said, okay, we're going to do it, fine. And that was the end of it. Now, whether or not that story's true or not, I don't know, but I enjoyed it when I heard at this party last week.
Doc McGee told me the story one time. So they're playing the Super Bowl. Kiss is playing the Super Bowl. I got it all set up. Kiss is playing the Super Bowl. And if you saw the broadcast, they had the whole field was filled with girls in like shorts but they all had Kiss makeup on. Mm-hmm. All of them. And so it's like 500 girls all over the field. And he's telling me the story. And he goes, and then all of a sudden Peter Criss, the drummer, he comes up to me, he goes, there's a problem here. What's the problem, Peter? The makeup. Makeup's all wrong. The noses are white. My nose is silver. What the fuck do you want me to do? They're trying to run a fucking football game here. What do you want me to? I'm just saying, the noses are not the right color. My nose is. Then he said, he's watching the game and he goes, we're up in the suite. Doc's telling me this. He goes, we're up in the suite. And, the football game, Kiss played great. They were unbelievable. And all of a sudden, behind my head, a beer comes soaring. They're watching the game in a suite with Fox executives. He goes, all these Fox executives, everybody's going, Kiss, Kiss. Oh, it's great, Kiss, Kiss. And a beer smashes off the glass that we're watching the game on. And they turn around, and it's Ace Frehley. And I go, what did he say? And he goes, he yelled out loudly, this is fucking bullshit. Now I'm fucking dying laughing. I go, well, what did you do, Doc? What did you do? He goes, well, and Doc is, 5'6", maybe he's this tall. He goes, well, I got up real quickly and I ran over, I grabbed him by the throat, and I said, Ace, you're way out of fucking line right now. He goes, yeah, I go, that's fucking just his stories, the way he would tell things, it was just incredible.
Did he get the silver nose, yes or no?
No, he couldn't change the makeup. He was telling him like 5 minutes before broadcast.
I would have made him do it, dude,
Change all the noses?
Yeah, because as soon as you said it now, and I'm thinking back to it, that's really bothered me about that performance. Just the noses. I don't know what year they played.
Let's look it up. Let's find out.
Bob, look up when Kiss played the Super Bowl, dude. Is he back there? Is he taking a shit? Is he dumping out? Okay.
And check the noses for me.
Yeah, check those noses. If we can get a pic of the noses, that would be great.
So it appears Kiss played Super Bowl 33, which was between the Broncos and Packers. That was for Elway's first title.
Oh, shit.
Or it was Broncos Falcons. I can't.
Sweet.
Oh, don't do that. That was in '99. That one I remember. I'm a Falcons fan. That was an awful one. That was when Eugene Robinson got arrested the night before with a prostitute.
Who played the
Miami.
halftime?
Yeah,
it was in Miami.
It was Broncos Falcons.
It was? Fuck me. That's why I don't remember it. That was so miserable. We got blown out in that game. I mean, just absolutely butt raped in that game. Sorry, Dicky.
Which Super Bowls did
99.
the Falcons win?
Let me see. There's so many. None. Absolutely none. We've won not one single Super Bowl.
How many have they been to?
2. Zoom in on their noses here, Bob.
And how did they do in the
nose.
second appearance?
You know what? They didn't do well, Dicky, against
they
the
okay.
Patriots.
By the way, no one on Kiss has silver noses.
Drummer.
The drummer. Go to the drummer.
Drummer's got a little cute.
Oh, he's got a little cat nose. I understand
nose.
there. Look at that. It's white and not silver.
On the
Bob.
tip.
Look at that, dude.
All right, whatever. But yeah, you can see here she has a silver nose. This chick has a silver tip nose.
She got the silver one.
Yeah.
Because, the makeup artist was like, hey, I'll spend
Silver,
some extra
not
times
white?
with you. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. She got the
it's hard to
silver
tell.
nose. And the drummer got stewed. He got fucking stewed in this one.
Look at the shoes.
Look at those platforms, dude. Because without him, what are they, 4'8"? They could have been in the dwarf. They could have been the one dwarf.
That Gene Simmons is tall.
He's
You worked
tall.
with him.
He sucks. But he's very tall.
Tell me why you hate Gene.
He's just a fucking dick.
If you don't get a COVID shot,
I'm sure he would have said that too.
He did.
Yeah.
He went. Hey Pete, what was Gene Simmons' exact quote?
You're the enemy.
You're the enemy?
The enemy of the people if you're wandering around unvaccinated.
Oh, the enemy of the people. So, hey, we got that too on the show. The only time a guest walked out here was Anthony Scaramucci. Remember that? The White House press secretary?
Right.
And so at the end of the show, he starts needling us, nailed it, that's for you, Dickie, about why we didn't get the vaccination and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, look, man, it's people's personal choice. And it's not mine, it's not my body,
Is
not
he
my
the
choice.
Mooch or Scaramouche?
The Mooch, yeah.
The Mooch?
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah.
And so I try to make a joke of it, of like, not my body, not my choice, like, whatever the fuck
Right.
it was. I don't care what people do, and you just don't need to preach it to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he goes, man, you guys have a big audience. You're fucking sending out the wrong message, and you're the enemy. You guys are the fucking enemy. I mean, just turned on a dime, and I was
Yeah.
like, my co-host lost his shit. And military was just like, fuck you, dude. And that was all over. He had a flight tonight. He's working on some stuff for the people, getting some troops out of Israel right now. But he said, fuck you. And then the Mooch walked out, and that was kind of the end of it. But we always had the same message on this show of like, hey, dude, if you feel that it's good for you and your family, do whatever you want. Like, this is our choice, and this is what we're going to do and everything else. And, for me, I ended up getting it later on because it was my choice of what I wanted to do.
I'm out of here.
I know, right? You're gone. Fuck you, Ross. Fuck you. No, you know what it was?
Why did you do it?
I'll tell you why.
I want to hear this.
So
I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure do. So
Start there.
I got invited to the White House yeah, dude. And I didn't know if I would ever get invited back. And I got to speak to Senate, Congress, meet the president, the whole thing, right?
Right.
And it was mandatory to send it in through the Secret Service. And
Which president are we talking
Well,
about?
it's the one who's there right now.
Okay.
So this was last year.
All right.
And
that was exciting to you?
well, here's what for me personally, because we do political shit and everything else across the board, I wanted to see how broken the system was, and that was the only shot that I thought I would get in my life. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because look, you've been famous for a long time and all that stuff. But sometimes you get these opportunities, they never come back, right? And so I wanted to see. Going in, meeting all these people, because I get to go in their offices, everything. I got full access, and I get to meet everybody.
Right.
And so I wanted to see if government truly was as fucked up or broken as I thought, or if it was just the media. Because doing the show on a daily basis, like a Stern or whoever else, if you're going to tell the audience, what to talk about in politics or what your beliefs are, I think you should have been there and at least gone and seen it yourself.
Right.
And so I made the decision, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've put worse things into my body over the goddamn years.
Yeah.
And I want to see it. And here's the thing. When I went, I got all the answers. Like, every answer that I ever wanted to know about the fucking White House or Congress or Senate, I got it. And to me, it was worth it. Now, obviously, if I fucking fall over on the cement after the show's over, then my wife's going to be pissed off and everything else.
Yeah.
But because she's not vaxxed, and I did it, but that was the reason I did it for. And, on the show, jokingly, before it all happened about going to the White House, we had said on a previous show, is there anything you would get vaccinated for? And at the time, I had said two things.
Right.
If I could go to the White House.
Yes.
Or if I was invited to the White House, or if I got to hang out backstage with the Rolling Stones, because that's my favorite band.
Right.
And like Mick required it or something, I'd be like, well, for Mick, sure. I think I might do this for Mick. There was the only two instances, and then sure enough, boom, I got a phone call for one. So that was it.
You do it for a dude. Mick.
Pete, I don't know. We need
Mick
to put it.
Jagger
I don't know
asked
that we
you-
need to put it like that.
If Mick Jagger asked you to
favorite
get
bands.
a COVID shot.
I'm doing it from my favorite bands.
Okay, all
Not
right,
a dude.
all right.
That makes it sound gay.
You do it for Give Me Shelter. And,
God damn it. Yeah. You're acting like I'm that dude from Alabama back there. Like, that's a little much.
He left.
He's gone
He
now?
left when he heard you'd get a COVID shot for Mick Jagger.
Or he's getting a beach in that bathroom back there, like right in the back. But I've never, so I met Keith. I've never met Mick. I would want to do that and kind of just have a conversation with them.
What was
about
meeting
life.
Keith like?
Fucking awesome, dude.
Really?
So rad.
Yeah.
So it was the Golden Globes 2003, I think, because I just had a movie come out that year and we were doing press for it or whatever. Got to go and it was right up, no, it was 2002 because it was 9/11, right?
Yeah.
So 9/11 happened 3 months earlier and we all had to go in security-wise in groups of 8. So
Right.
they said, hey, we can protect you in groups of 8 and you had to go up this elevator at the Beverly Hills Hilton over there where Whitney Houston died.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
That was-
She died in that bathtub. What? She
Yeah.
She
Right.
drowned in the bathtub.
So did Jim Morrison.
Yeah, sure did. Sure did. Yeah.
To all the bathtub deaths out there.
R.I.P. Cheers. Yep. Pour it out. Pour it out.
That's inappropriate.
It's fine. We don't give a shit around here. It's Drinkin' Bros. So when we get in the elevator, it was by initials on the last name. So it was P through R. So I'm not famous at all. I'd done one movie, like one lead in a movie at this point.
Okay.
And so I get it. It's P through R. So it's Patterson, Richards, and then Joe Perry.
Oh.
So it was, and then the 3 people that we were with. I was with my agents. They were with their wives or, daughters or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm in a fucking elevator with Joe Perry, Keith Richards, and then obviously the big guy right here who you're sitting here talking to,
The big 3.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say who's the most famous of the 3? That's your debate to have
No.
at home. That's not mine.
No.
It's not mine. And so at this point, like, I'm such a diehard Stones fan that I risk it all. Like a little
Right.
girl. And I said, Keith, gonna be honest with you, man. I know we got about 15 seconds in this elevator. You guys are the greatest goddamn rock and roll band of all time.
Right.
And he looks at me and smiles, and then he just punches me right in the arm.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and he goes, we really are, mate, aren't we? We're such a fucking... And I was like, oh my God, yeah. He goes, we are. And he goes, the doors open after he punches me and says this, right? And Joe Perry's got to be like, what the fuck, bro? What about Aerosmith? And I was like, fuck Aerosmith, right?
Yeah.
The doors open, and then he walks out, and he goes... what's your name? And I go, Ross. And he goes, to the bar.
Yeah.
And then we all follow Keith Richards to the fucking bar at the Golden Globes. And I'm like, holy shit. This is the greatest night of my life. And then, crowd disperses or whatever around Keith. And then I'm kind of pushed off onto the side because nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Did Joe Perry say anything?
He looked at me really pissed off.
Because he wanted to say something to Keith, probably.
Or something about his own band, and like he didn't say anything in the
Yeah,
elevator. And I've
yeah.
always wondered, not that they're not great, they're fine.
It's Rolling Stones light.
Yes.
Really. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
Aerosmith, love them. Boston, whole thing. Love Joe Perry. Great guy.
But I don't know if there was ever a competition between those guys.
Yeah, I think there was.
And so,
I mean, Jagger and Tyler.
right?
Tyler's doing a Jagger thing, right?
Fuck yeah, he's just doing a whole goddamn ripoff of Jagger.
Yeah.
So that's the way I looked at it. And like, he kind of looked at him pissed off and kind of looked at me pissed off of like, hey, are we going to say anything about Aerosmith? And I was like, no, bro,
If Tyler asked you to get a COVID shot, would you?
no.
All right.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
It's just Mick for you, right?
It is, dude. It is. We did a gig with, we did this thing.
What if Mick
with,
said, I want you to get 4 boosters? 4 boosters, mate.
Hey, 4 boosters, and you get it the Weinstein shot right in the penis, just right there, dude. Yeah, I get
For Mickey.
for Mickey. I would, dude. I'd get 4 boosters in the penis for Mickey for sure, for sure. But I saw Aerosmith. They actually did the Super Bowl show. We covered Rams Patriots,
Right.
And so we were doing this thing with Post Malone and kind of meeting up or
Yeah.
whatever. And he opened up for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
And so we were there for
You
him.
know who else opened up for Aerosmith?
Who?
You're looking at him.
Shut the fuck
I'm
up.
telling you, Boston Garden, the old garden, my friend.
Wow.
Years ago.
How was that?
A thrill.
I bet.
An absolute thrill.
I bet it was. Beaches backstage, champagne
No,
all over
you know,
people.
It's this weird ska band that was like open New Year's Eve. Their New Year's Eve shows in Boston are legendary. And still to this day, they still do these huge, New Year's Eve show. So to be asked to do that was absolute thrill and to be at the Old Garden. I mean, this is Bird did his thing, and the
parquet on the floor,
Bobby Orr, the whole thing.
Yeah,
they pulled the parquet up because the Aerosmith was going to play there. God damn it! And lesser known band, young Boston band with no hits. By the way, it wasn't like Impression That I Get was out. This was like we were climbing the college charts.
No shit.
Yeah.
And how was that at the time? Were they cool to you or not?
Super cool. All came through. We made friends with their kids, and to this day, I'm still friends with Aaron Perry, Joe's son. And
what about Liv Tyler?
She was there, but she wasn't even in movies yet then. At that time, yeah. So we were closer to their age, so they hung out in with the Bosstones, and
that fucking rocks. Did you ever meet the Stones, by the way?
No.
Okay.
None of them.
All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same level,
I do respect and love the Stones, but if Mick Jagger asked me to get an inoculation, I'd pass on.
Would you get one booster shot for Mick?
No.
But like in a meaty part of your body, dude. Just like one booster. Like right in the ass.
Maybe if Yaz asked me.
Yeah, if the hologram of Yaz. God damn it, Bob. The hologram machine isn't working today.
It's not going to happen.
We got no hologram of Yaz to do it.
Who have you met that was like, would it be the meeting with Keith?
Keith, yeah. That's my number one in life.
Yeah.
In life. 100% in life where you're just like, shit. You know who 2 was?
Who?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, my gosh.
It's weird, man. But do you talk to that dude? And it's like, you've known him for fucking 34 years, and his focus is so locked in on you that everybody in the room is staring at him. And
I
like,
know how he is.
Holy shit. Oh, you met him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. What the fuck?
I was the announcer on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yeah, dude. So what the fuck are you asking me for?
I watched Sunday Football with him one time.
How was it?
He came by with his mother, and it was a weird thing. You might remember the story. It was my friend Sal, Jimmy's cousin, Sal. So Jimmy's cousin Sal had called. Jeff Ross was on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
You know Jeff Ross.
Yeah, of course. The roast master.
The roast master general, Jeff Ross, who's a sweet, sweet guy. I love him so much. Really good guy. So he's on Dancing with the Stars, and it's like round 2, the second week of it, and he's up for, he's going to be voted off. And Sal decided, I'm standing there with him, and he shows me his phone, and it's got Jeff Ross, and he's going to send a text to Jeff Ross that says, "You're all set," to him, like just before the show starts airing and taping, and sends it to Jeff. At the end of the show, you could see, they've got the 2 people, like this couple's going to be voted off or this couple's going to be voted off. Jeff's there with his dancing partner, and he looks so confident, and you could tell, he's like, we're all set, he's telling this girl. All of a sudden, he's voted off, and he just looks devastated, and I'm watching with Sal, I'm like, oh my God. He was super confident because you sent him that text. He was bullshit. He didn't want to talk to Sal anymore. They were no longer friends. It was a huge fight. They carried on into Bill Simmons' podcast, and that's it. I'm done with Cousin Sal. It's a mean trick. I told my dance partner that she's all set and we're not getting voted off. And it's like, well, why did you think Cousin Sal knew? Well, he's on the Jimmy Kimmel show. We thought he knew. And it culminated into a football Sunday at Jimmy's house where Tom Cruise showed up, and Jeff Ross was there, and Cousin Sal was there, and
because for the audience, by the way, he was known for throwing these football parties every single Sunday at his house and inviting a bunch of celebrities over. Yes,
it wasn't so much celebrities; it was like his boys. He
only hangs out with celebrities.
Maybe these days, but at that time, this was early on. And Tom Cruise showed up, so that nullifies my point. And he showed up with his mother, and she brought cupcakes, and she was a lovely woman, and Tom was, super he's all of a sudden talking to, our friend Brad, and he's like dialed into everybody, like eye contact with everybody, that kind, just as you said. And then all of a sudden, it was very important that Tom Cruise decide the fate and decide, like, what's the outcome? Should Sal have sent that text or should not? And he brokered and bargained the deal, and then from that point on, as far as I know, all things were good. And maybe Sal could tell you differently.
No, you know why?
Why?
Because he's fucking Tom Cruise, dude, and that's what he goddamn does.
That's what he did.
Yeah. That's what he does, dude.
It felt like best. Mission Impossible.
He's the goddamn best.
Right.
He's the goddamn best, dude.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. There's a weird thing with him, man. Like the way he talks to you, it inspires like a weird confidence in you, and you're just like, I could be a better human the same as you.
Dude, he hasn't aged one day.
No, and it's with his mind. He's not even doing anything. It's just all in his mind. He's like, I refuse to age.
It's like, it's the same dude from Risky Business as it is from that last Top Gun movie.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Best in the biz, dude. So TC's at 2. Keith Richards was 1 for me in my life. And then 3 was probably, 3's gotta be Forrest Whitaker. Totally kidding. I don't know Forrest Whitaker. I don't fucking know Forrest Whitaker. I would have heard if I did, right?
Whitaker.
Yeah. He wouldn't look at me in the eye. The other eye was going this way, and I was staring right at him. I don't know. Fucking Forrest Whitaker.
But we did manage to insult him.
We sure did. We sure did, dude. And one day,
Bless us.
he'll get that eye fixed, and then it'll be me who's got egg on their face. This is the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you or helped you become the person you are today. Who'd you like to give Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
I'll give it to, Drinkin' Bro of the Week.
Artie Lang. Somebody really positive.
Artie Lang. I'll give it to my dear friend, Pete Parada, drummer for the Defiant.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a very inspiring dude. Super guy. As a matter of fact, you should have had him on the show instead of me.
I mean, look, you were here, so we did it, obviously. But
yeah,
but if he rolls into town, let me know, and we'll get him on here.
Will you have him by?
Yeah, I'll get him on all 4s. We'll do the show for sure.
None of that shit.
It's not that. This is that's what I call
yeah, that's it. He's off the table.
That's what I call our chairs. I call them all 4s.
He's still my
I'm sorry.
inspiration, but taking him off the table.
I call the chairs all 4s. All right.
How much do you love Pete Rose?
Me?
Yeah.
So Pete's been on 3 or 4 times on the show.
Yeah.
Gigantic fan because he lives up to everything you thought he was.
Right.
So when you meet him in real life, like, dude, he's cutting deals.
Yeah.
He's giving you gambling tips. He's like, oh, hey, you want to get steak?
Have you ever met Lenny Dykstra?
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lenny Dykstra. So Nails, as we love to call him.
Not Charlie Hustle, Nails.
Nails. His son is actually married to Meadow Soprano, or they used to. I don't know if they got divorced.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what their whole sitch was, but it was in some real estate thing. Like, he was big into real estate. It wasn't when he was playing baseball. It was in some real estate thing, and he was trying to get people to invest in some high rise in Los Angeles or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was just something about him where you were like, man, I feel like you're going to steal everyone's money from this, and none of this seems real. And I was totally dead on about it.
Didn't feel like above board with Nails?
No, I never did. I think, Bob, you can look it up. Did Lenny Dykstra go to prison, or was that the kid? Look it up. But like, nothing felt real with him, where you were just like fast-talking little guy, and he was always sweating, and you were like, all right, cool, man. 73 out.
Yeah. Dykstra did 7 months in prison for money laundering.
There you go.
What year?
Concealment of assets and bankruptcy fraud.
What year was it? You know?
Let me see. He doesn't look good in this picture, but that could be any time.
Does he look like the drummer from Kiss at the Super Bowl?
He wishes.
This is fucking... No, that's the guitar player. That's Freely.
I like how you talk it in a high voice. This is bullshit.
That's complete Doc McGee. That's exactly the way you did it. This is fucking bullshit.
2012.
2012. Okay, so yeah, so it was about 8 years before that I met him, but you could tell something was
It's a
off
short
there.
stint, though. I feel like Nails could do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
7 for him for sure.
Yeah.
Now minus the tobacco, who knows, right? If he couldn't put that chaw in to that left side of the cheek, could he get through it?
I think his
don't
teeth
know.
are a mess from that stuff.
Fuck yeah, they are. I'm surprised they're not rotting out of his goddamn skull.
Yeah.
This was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
So did I.
Tell everybody.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not, dude.
You've done 3,000. Give me the number again.
I think 3,500.
3,500.
3,500 shows, yeah.
And I was okay?
You were great.
You'd have me
You're actually
back?
one of my favorites.
Get out of here.
You and I would hang in real life.
I'm not going to believe. I would hang in real life. Yeah, I believe that.
And
but-
you would be back on the show for sure. I got a million questions for you. This is one of those that could have gone like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I have questions too. I have questions for you.
Do you?
Offshoots, like offshoots.
I don't give a shit. You can ask me on air.
No, it was more. I wanted to ask you on the air, but it was like I was filing questions away as I went along, and then we never really circled back.
Okay.
You know,
That's your fault, not mine.
I mean,
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Richards and Joe Perry in the elevator alone. You know?
Weird, right? P through R.
Yeah.
P through R, get in the elevator. I was like, all right, cool. Holy shit.
I was in an elevator one time with Joe Namath and Evander Holyfield.
Oh, fuck.
I swear to God.
So Holyfield is a Georgia. That was my dude growing up.
It was me.
I love Holyfield.
Matt Damon, Evander Holyfield, and Joe Namath in an elevator, and me and Matt jumped in there because it was Namath and Evander Holyfield were in there. And the reason we were in an elevator with them was it was the ESPYs.
Okay.
I can't get the year right, but it was the year that Norm Macdonald.
Oh my God,
the famous
dude.
one.
It's so. Go back and watch that 15-minute open.
Dude, I was there.
The greatest of all time.
The Bosstones played that ESPYs.
No shit.
And Smash Mouth played. Smash Mouth and the Bosstones.
R.I.P. obviously.
Not
okay.
R.I.P. But
yeah.
Greg, our guitar player, who wrote the monster hits for Smash Mouth, guitar player for the Defiant, he was there too. And we didn't even know each other at the time, but we were playing. But Matt Damon was there because Good Will Hunting was a huge hit that year.
Okay, so you're probably looking at 97, 98 then, right?
97, 98.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's when the Bosstones big hit and the Smash Mouth big hit happened. And then Norm Macdonald, that roasting shit was like, he started like roasting and hosting.
It was iconic.
That was the first one.
Oh, that was my favorite, dude.
Gervais and everybody came after him, but Norm was number one on that. And so me and Matt are kids from Boston, and we're like, oh my God, all these sports guys around here, and Norm Macdonald and everything. And we said, oh my, holy shit, that's Joe Namath and Evander Holyfield. We're like, look at his ear.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the elevator opened up and Matt pushed me, and I grabbed him, and we're both in, and we didn't have shit to say to either Namath or... But we rode up, and they're like, what floor? We're like, we don't know. I don't know what the...
Oh, you couldn't even squeeze it out.
I had nothing.
Were you both famous at the time? Was Matt Damon famous?
Well, Good Will Hunting blew up, so yeah.
Dude, he could have said something.
But we were like sports nuts, like
Yeah.
Boston sports, and younger, 1997, I don't know. That puts me at... I was probably 52 at the time.
Yeah. No, stop it.
I'm making it up.
Yeah. Make it up as you go along. I saw Holyfield last year.
How's he looking?
He looks great.
Yeah?
Holy shit, dude. He looks like he's still fighting. I mean, it's in shape, looks identical. I mean, it was so scary that I was just like, holy shit, dude. You could go out and fight now.
But none of the head injury stuff or anything like that?
Well, look, the conversation we had was fine, but it's also Evander Holyfield. Like, he always talked like that.
Right.
So, and then the ear. Same thing. I looked at the ear, and we get a picture or whatever, and I was just like, the ear was still missing, and I was like, holy shit. But everybody still wants to talk to him about the goddamn ear.
Yeah.
It was endless. It was like
I didn't want to talk to him about it, but I did definitely want to look at it.
Yeah, so did I. So I didn't ask him about it, but I looked at it hard.
Dude, 97, it was fresh.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I think,
I've seen it now, and it's still...
I think Tyson spit it out in 98.
He did. Somebody's got it, dude. Somebody's got it online.
Maybe
I always wanted to buy that fucking ear on eBay. That was like a dream of mine. Never got to, though.
I think I saw a recent commercial where he gave the ear back.
So the guy did from inside
Tyson. It was like a whole fake, maybe I made...
Yeah, no, they're doing a weed together. They're doing something with his weed company.
Yeah?
And I think it's called Just a Bite or something like that.
Come on.
Dead serious.
You can't make this shit up.
Yep, they got together and they're doing... Tyson's got a huge weed company. So
You got to get back to your Jada Pinkett stuff.
Oh, God. What
All
a
right.
fucking nightmare that woman is. The devil. The devil. Be grateful of your wife today, okay? Hug her. Hug her tonight.
I'm going to hug
Hold her
your wife.
closely.
She's over there.
Yeah, you can afterwards, for sure. You can. She's a big fan. She's a big fan.
Get the fuck
I'm dead serious. They actually,
There's no truth to that.
There is, and you're gonna do, if you don't mind, you'll do a quick promo for her show because they have an ongoing joke.
Don't mind.
About the Mighty Bosstones.
Okay, I gotta hear that. You want to hear a Bosstones joke?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. What's the difference between the Mighty Bosstones and a moose?
What's up?
Moose has the horns in the front and the asshole in the back. It's funny because that's me.
It is. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Tip your servers and waitresses. Go to
everybody
iTunes
in Birmingham
and rate the show a 5-star and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. Just a 5-star and you can walk away. For Dicky Barrett.
Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Oh, don't you? Can you take me higher?
The shit has hit the fan. Ha!
I'm Ross Patterson. Good night, everyone.